Hey, good evening to you, everyone. How are you? Welcome to a Wednesday evening. Happy Independence Eve to everyone who is one of my fellow citizens of these great United States. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful and safe 4th tomorrow. Do take care of yourselves. Um, I'll be here. So, if you guys sort of kind of want to hang around and see round two of what we've got going on, then please, by all means, tune in. We'll be here. I hope you will too. Got a few things I want to get off my chest before we get going. I made a decision. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna come to that because there's a lot of stuff to unpack about what I've decided. I posted this on Twitter, and I know a lot of you guys don't follow me on Twitter, and that's fine. I get it. RPG Twitter is really a lot of fun, and there's a lot of cool creative people on there. Um, RPG Facebook is still kind of a thing, and when I was checking out Facebook today, I saw something that really, really, really hit me, and not in a good way. Um, I'm not sure how many of you guys know, my fellow grog nerds. And look, I just want you to set aside for a minute any personal feelings about quality or, anything that you feel was right or wrong in terms of adventure design or book writing for TSR or anything like that. Um, One of the pioneers of Dungeons and Dragons. She was one of the first women, of course, in addition to Jean Wells and Darlene, and of course Rosa Estes, to kick things off at TSR. And of course, I'm talking about Jean Rabe, and I have one of her books here. This is Return to Quag Keep. Now, I have said before, it's not a good sequel, and it's not. I'm going to reread it when I finish my rereading of Quag Keep. I'm going to go back to this, and see, maybe it's one of those things that has kind of gotten better with age. Uh, Look, I don't want to be um an incredible bring down. But Jean's health is very poor. She is in the hospital. And she posted up today that she had requested a DNR. And for those of you who don't know, that is a do not resuscitate. That is do not take extraordinary measures um, to to revivify her should she pass. That's pretty heavy, and I don't. The whatever you think about that, whatever I think about that, is not even up for discussion right now. We're not going to broach that. But if you're on Facebook, and Gene's pioneering work in tabletop RPGs meant something to you, then maybe leave her a message on her Facebook page. It came as a big shock to me. Gene is one of those people who was on my to interview list, and I hope I had that chance. So, look, whether you're spiritual, humanist, experiential, whatever your jam is, whatever your vibe is, whether you think we're just cosmic dust that got luckily clumped together, or whether you think there's a grand author of it all, I don't know, and I don't want to have that that discussion. What I do want you to do is have her in your thoughts if that is something that you feel comfortable doing. I truly, truly, truly wanted to have Jean on the show, and it was kind of one of those, you know. But I want to make sure I have a really good show, and I hope that opportunity does not slip out of my fingers. So there's that. And it kind of dovetails into something. It's got me a little down today because this has happened twice, not with the passing or the near passing of anyone, but this is just a little observational thing. 2 times now, and these aren't even people in role-playing game spaces. There have been 2 creators, and telling you who they were really wouldn't matter in the least because, you know, they're not. But there have been 2 people that I found out, much to my joy, had presence on Twitter. Because I was like, oh, I've seen your stuff. That's so fantastic. Now I will follow you on Twitter. What's this? You have something pinned at the top of your Twitter feed? Oh, you're leaving social media forever. And your works will stay up for a while at least. That sucks. I'm not saying that the people I'm talking about have any obligation to me whatsoever, right? If I was a more engaged fan, I would have gone out and gotten to them sooner, right? It's just, you know, it's like getting to the birthday party when it's over. So, you know, it's just the suckiness of kind of missing something. And I think it kind of ties in a little bit with the thing with Jean. It's like, there goes my opportunity to interact. And I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case with Jean. So, to move forward, let's talk a little bit about next week and the week beyond. So the decision I made, I am taking next week off. I will create a little bit of content maybe over the weekend to share with you guys. You know, just put up a few interstitial videos and funnies. I need a vacation, guys. I need just 7 to 9 days of no YouTube. So look for that, or don't look for that next week. The following week, things are going to start to get busy. Things are going to really start to accelerate through the rest of July into August and into September. And my guest tonight, who I forgot to link to his page, but I'm going to fix that. Don't you worry, sir. My guest tonight and I have got something big with a capital B that I'm going to be sharing on my channel. He's going to be sharing on his channel. It's going to be a ton of fun and awesomeness that we're going to share with you guys, but we'll get to there when we get to there. Also, there is a giveaway coming away. It will be announced on July the 27th, the date of Gary's birth. There is a giveaway that is going to happen. Well, the giveaway won't happen. I am announcing it. The giveaway will come in December, because I'll have a lot of decision making to make about the nature of the giveaway, but you guys will find out about it. And the week after next, Rob Kuntz will be on the show. He will be my Thursday guest on the 25th. So that is all the boring announcements. Now we're gonna have some fun, guys. So let's talk a little giant stompy robot with my guest, who took time away from his busy schedule of producing a solid state frozen bromide excimer laser. Everybody, please put your Waldo manipulators together for the one and only Tim Imholt. Everybody, Tim, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good, man. It's good to see you again after such a long time.
Yeah, it's
You
been,
you haven't aged a day.
well, apparently about one day since the Tuesday night live stream, maybe two.
We could get into some discussions about relativistic time dilation and are you younger or older being further away from me. I don't understand that stuff. I only make the eyes.
It was a real genius reference, Daniel. I posted on Twitter earlier that I was going to put that movie on in the background, which of course I did. And then of course everybody comes up with the laser comments, everything else. And I do have the T-shirt. I should have worn it. That says "I heart toxic waste."
I heart toxic waste. Absolutely. Absolutely. And can you drive a nail through a board with it, Tim? But
No,
anyway,
not right now.
not right now. Anyway, and that's as much of that quote as we're going to talk about. So, Tim, it's my understanding that you have not played giant stompy robot games before.
Nope.
Okay. Did you watch any Robotech when you were a kid, or Transformers or anything like that?
Transformers. I don't probably watched Robotech. I can't remember any of it, but I watched a lot of Transformers.
Okay. So, I mean, I could make poor Tim sit here for another 3 hours reciting the history of the giant stompy robot genre, the mecha genre, as it came from Japan. Exactly. I'm not going to do that to you guys. But it was an exceptionally popular genre, and it did kind of kick off in the U.S. with the importation of Macross, which of course they built 3 different TV series into one and made Robotech. And one of the people that really impressed, I mean, you know, the Lord of the Rings and Fafhrd and Grey Mouser and Conan and all those other things begat Dungeons and Dragons. Well, a fellow by the name of Mike Pondsmith, like us, kind of grew up watching the giant stompy robot shows and decided to do something about it, because at the time that wasn't really a niche that was that filled. We had BattleTech, and then there was a Robotech RPG. But Mike put his own unique stamp on it, and we're going to take a look at probably the latest iteration of the rules. My intention was that we would do a look at MEKTON 2, but our Talsorian Games does not sell PDFs of that old version of the rules. But that's okay. That's okay. Tim is going to be my guinea pig tonight. Am I pointing at you the right way? Tim is going to be my guinea pig tonight, and we're going to make up a MEKTON character. We've done Cyberpunk before. You ever play Cyberpunk, Tim?
Of course.
Okay.
Who hasn't played Johnny Mnemonic? I mean, come on.
There you go. But we've done Cyberpunk before. So the life path system that they use as the core of their rules at our Talsorian should be fairly familiar to you. Now, MEKTON 2.
Can I say something to people in the chat before we do that?
Absolutely.
It's off topic, but today
go.
there were some things said about Neil Gaiman today that are popping up in the chat, and I want to point out that Neil Gaiman has been accused of things. I will also point out that Neil Gaiman is shockingly wealthy compared to most writers, and as soon as there's about 50 cents to rub together, you've got a lot of people coming after you for it, and sometimes you don't even have to have it. It can just be people think you do, and they come after you for money. So I would let that shake out before anybody makes opinions about Neil Gaiman at all.
Yeah. I you know, Tim, that's a very salient point. Yeah, we do need to, you know, What's the old saying, Tim? A lie can travel around the world 4 times before the truth can even get out of bed.
Just look what happened with Johnny Depp. Okay, we found out both of them are sick and twisted individuals, but we found out, she was the more sick and twisted individual.
Yeah. So I think let's let the courts decide, and not a newspaper article.
Yeah.
If it even becomes a court issue. At any rate. So to show this up on the screen, here is this is the MEKTON rulebook. My cameras are currently employed pointing at the D&D table right now. I didn't think to get them set up.
Nice.
But that is it's the classic giant robot, handsome and pretty heroes up front, and guns. And so Mike Pondsmith released this on the world. This is not the first version of MEKTON. He actually went the D&D route. There was a little white box of MEKTON. The first version of MEKTON came in a little white box, just like OD&D. And we'll read the splash across the back here. Seconds before the missile barrage hit, Jeff skidded the rapier on its heel, the massive cannon coming to bear. The targeting circles seemed to crawl across his view screen as the 30-meter humanoid form thundered towards him. Then the world blew up in a blazing shatter of screaming shrap and flame, hurling the 50-ton rapier back into the rubble of a deserted parking garage. Son of a gun, swore Jeff. Ooh, Mike, language. Struggling to clear his numbed brain, one hand swept the shaggy hair out of his sweating face and came away bloody. Indicators and warning lights screamed at him as he thrust the control yoke forward, bringing the wounded mecha to its feet. Above and ahead of him, he could see the 65-ton mauler looming out of the smoke. Jeff locked his gaze to the screen, the red-eye pickups aligned on the targeting scope. His thumb punched down on the firing stud, and the sky exploded as the 150-millimeter guns hurled death at the enemy's face. So that is tonally where we're going with MEKTON tonight, Tim. Are you excited?
I am.
Good, because we're going to make your pilot tonight and tomorrow night. Well, I mean, time depending. We could go through this pretty quick, but we shall... we shall see what we do. Now this, the cover has changed slightly. What I'm about to share up on the screen has different cover art, but the contents are the same. This is my physical copy of MEKTON Zeta, and it is a revision of the simpler rules, and it kind of incorporates some stuff from some later supplements, like role-playing games do. It's like a new version comes out. Supplements are released for it. A new version comes out. They see what works, what doesn't work, and they concatenate it into a new version. So that's what we have.
That happens every 10 years with another.
It happens every 10 years with another role-playing game. It's the circle of life. But anyway, so there we are. I'm not going to make you guys have to lean forward or bring your phones up to your eyeballs, because I got this in PDF, which I am able to do thanks to your support, folks. We are at 6,117 subscribers on this channel, and that just warms the cockles of my heart. Thank you very, very, very much for doing that. And if you haven't already, please do click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications so you can find out when we do fun stuff like this. So here we go, fresh off of Drive-Thru RPG. We have here, this is MEKTON Zeta Plus Advanced Technical Manual, and this is the actual role-playing game itself.
I like the giant blue shield.
The giant blue shield. Well, the beauty of the MEKTON mech customization system, as we'll see, if you want a giant blue shield for your mech, you can have it. You're not restricted to, well, here are the models, and maybe you can diddle some weapons around, and they stomp forward at 40 to 60 kilometers an hour. You can get pretty Macross or Gundam-y sort of, mech as Kung Fu Master, or Riot Shield wielder with MEKTON. So Now, Jimmy makes an interesting point here. He says he always thought of MEKTON as Bubblegum Crisis, the RPG. Our Talsorian actually published a Bubblegum Crisis RPG, which unfortunately I don't have, although I really should do something about that one day. So let us slide in to some mech action here and take a look at what we've got. So we've got introduction, tech levels. I'm going to bring this over so I don't have to crane my neck so weird. This is, let's see. Did I send myself the wrong book? I sent myself the wrong book. So this is purely the tech manual, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna roll forward with what we've got. We're gonna have this up on the screen. Actually, I'm going to do, I didn't mean to do that. Well, we'll bring it back in a second. Tim, we're going to have you roll some dice. We're going to do the life path system. Are you ready, Tim, to roll some dice? Okay. Now, we are big fans of the dice are always right here at the Delver's Dungeon show. So we're going to go with random characteristics rather than a point buy or cinematic or concepts. We're going to go with random characteristics, and we're going to do D10s down the line. But before we get to that, let's talk about life path. I mentioned earlier, this is a life path game. So you kind of, through dice rolls, build your backstory. And that's what we're going to do here. So let's...
And Kabuki Kid, you do not want to see me dance. I guarantee you that.
All right. So according to the rules, and we're on page 20 here, the life path is a series of random charts that help determine your character's background and the status of his or her friends and family. But it's more than that. Life path is a way of recreating the complex mental landscape of a typical anime character. It gives you tasty clues on what you love and hate, your personal triumphs and failures. By working with its multi-layered charts, it doesn't take much imagination to expand a result of enemy pilot who hates you into a full-blown tale of the old friend who betrayed you, jealously murdered the lover you both wanted, and changed sides as the start of a bitter grudge match that isn't going to end until one of you lies dead in a smoking crater on the battlefield. But even the events of your life path are just the bare bones of your character's previous life. You also need to work with your MEKTON Zeta referee, it's me, to determine just what all of these events mean to make a coherent tale of your life path entries. All right, and the rest is just some blurbs for me. So, Tim, let's start off with your money and family. Tim, roll a d10 for me. And we are seeing there, I need to actually look at the die roller. It looks like a 3, but sometimes that die roller can...
It's a 9.
It's a 9? All right, let's see. It is a 9. Fittingly enough, Tim is noble/wealthy. And you will start with 900 credits, but we'll get back to that. So now, another D10, Tim. Let's check out your family situation.
8.
An 8. Both parents are alive and well. Congratulations. Go to B. Family standing. To determine your family standing, once again, roll 1d10. You're going to be rolling d10s, Tim, so just... All right, 6. Family status is good, even if parents are missing or dead. So let's go over to chart E. We have skipped over a lot of hooks. All right, so E. This is your siblings. You may have up to 7 brothers or sisters. Roll 1d10. 1 to 7 indicates the number of siblings you have, while 8 to 10 indicates you're an only child. A 6. All right, so a 6. You have 6 brothers and sisters. So anime characters are fecund. What can we say? Okay. All right, Tim. let's see. Roll 6d10. All right, so let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 brothers. Congratulations.
Hey, in real life, I have 2 sisters and no brothers, so this will be fun.
There you go. You have 6 brothers. Okay, roll those 6 again. And let's see. We're just going to start at the top with the ones I see. Brother number 1 dislikes you. Brother number 2 is neutral to you. Oh, and they all disappeared. Dang it. It's just showing the total.
All right.
Okay. I was able to bring it up. So, brother number 1 dislikes you. Brother number 2 is neutral. Brother number 3 is neutral. Brother number 4, hero worships you. Did it disappear again? Consarn it, it sure did. That was 3. Roll 3d10 more for me, Tim.
I've already got 4. I only need 2 more.
Oh, okay. All right. So 2 more. Sorry. I was trying to give you 1 extra brother.
4 and 5.
4 and 5. So you have 1 who likes you and 1 who's neutral to you. So you only have 1 brother who really dislikes you. I misspoke. I said we only needed d10s. Roll a d6. This is chart F for friends. It does have a dice log kabuki, but it's weird. So you've got 2 friends. Roll 2d10.
Taking notes as quickly as I can write.
Okay.
6 and a 1.
A 1 and a 6. All right. And one of your friends is an old school pal. The other is an ex-lover. A lover, Tim. A former lover. Someone who loved you.
Please don't speak like that. That's freaking me out.
Your skin crawl a little bit.
A little bit. It's an old Saturday Night Live skit that he's doing, I think.
Yes. It was Will Ferrell and was it Molly Shannon?
It might have been, because those two did a lot of stuff together.
Yeah. The lovers. Okay, so you have an old school pal and an ex-lover. While unlikely, it is possible you may have already made a lifelong enemy from your early years. Roll a d10. On a 10, you have an enemy. You do not. All right. Your romantic life, Tim. Let's see. In your first 16 years, you have had a few loves come and go, various crushes, dates, and the like. The following charts are for a truly serious romance, something that you will carry with you for the years to come. Roll 1d10.
2.
It is a 2. You're currently involved in a romance. All right, give us another d10 roll.
So this is fiction, right?
This is... Everything is going smoothly for now.
So this is truly fiction.
This is truly fiction, yes. This anime is such a strange genre of weird fictions. All right, so let's see. All right, Tim, we're going with hair color, hairstyle, and eye color. This is going to be fun. Give me a D10 for hair color.
9.
Silver or white?
Kind of like real life.
There you go. Give me a D10 for hairstyle.
Hang on, I can't write as fast as you can read.
That's fine. I'm sorry.
1.
Neat silver hair. We are cruising back into real life. Okay. Eye color. A 4. Ruby. Congratulations, you have red eyes.
Kind of like Hannibal Lecter. At least in the books.
Okay. All right. Personality traits. That's a D10. It's a 10. Intellectual and detached. I'll leave that one for you to sort out. All right. Thing you value most is, and that's another D10 roll. 3. Your word. Most valued possession.
Okay.
That's another D10 for most valued possession.
Hang on, I clicked the wrong thing on the dice roller. Hang on.
That's okay.
10.
A letter. You have a letter from someone that means something to you. And the person you value most in the world, another D10 roll.
Oddly enough, probably there's a letter that might be one of my most valuable possessions that's in the other room.
Well, there you go. You're intellectual, neat silver hair, a letter is your most valued possession. This is supposed to be made up. 6. So we got a 6. Person you most value in the world, a pet. Your girlfriend's going to be devastated. All right. So there we go. Tim, do you want to read back those characteristics and give everyone kind of a quick sketch of who you are?
Okay, so I'm noble or wealthy. Apparently, I have 900 credits. Parents are both alive and well. Family status is good. I have 6 siblings, all brothers. First one dislikes me. Second one's neutral. Third one's neutral. Fourth one hero worships me. Fifth one likes me. Sixth one is neutral. 2 real friends, old school pal, and an ex-lover. Please don't do it. No.
I'm not going to do it.
I'm in a romance and it's going smoothly. Silver or white hair, which is neat. Ruby color eyes. I should put the word eyes after that before I forget what ruby means. Intellectual and detached. Word is my most valued thing in life. A letter is my most valuable possession. And a pet is my most valued, I guess, relationship, was it?
Let's see. You're the person you value most in the world apparently is a pet.
Oh, okay.
Got your goldfish in a little mini aquarium on the dashboard of your mech.
I was going to say my tarantula, but sure.
Okay, all right. Tarantula works too. Hey, in a fight, if an enemy uses his laser sword and cuts open your cockpit, you can just throw him on him. I know I'd leave.
Hey, man, don't mess with Blueberry.
I don't even want to see Blueberry. Forget messing with Blueberry.
Man, Blueberry's like 5 inches big now. She's huge.
That's good to know. Okay, I'll make you a deal. I won't do the SNL lover thing, and you don't talk about Blueberry.
Oh, so on the Tuesday night game, I can't put Blueberry as my background?
I would prefer not.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we are going down the line for your characteristics. Now I'm going to give you these these characteristics, and then we will go. Now, being as this is an anime game, of course, the most important characteristic is attractiveness. That is the first one listed. Attractiveness.
9.
A 9. We'll come back to how good that is, but that's darn good. All right. So body type.
10.
Oh my lord. Okay. All right. Now we do have secondary values for body type. We'll come back to that. Cool, which is a measure of how well you stand up under pressure and how charismatic you are.
5.
It's average. Empathy, this stat.
Average charisma.
Average charisma. Cool. Empathy represents how well you relate to other living things, a measure of likability.
7.
7. You are dialed into people. And finally, intelligence. Or not finally. I'm sorry. Finally on this page anyway. Intelligence.
I'm stupid.
You're the captain of the football team, the defensive squad.
Apparently, I'm good looking and dumb.
Well, Kenichi is a fairly popular Japanese name, so you could just call yourself Ken for short. All right, so luck.
Luck.
Luck. Also D10. How lucky are you? Not at all. Actually, the minimum stat is a 2, so you can actually re-roll that.
Oh, sweet.
I said you could re-roll that, Tim.
A 6.
A 6. There you go. There you go. All right. So you're slightly, you're slightly luckier than average. All right. So next is movement allowance. 4, not bad. So we can we will come back to movement allowance because we've still got that and body type values. So let's see. Reflexes, a combination of agility and hand-to-eye coordination. 6, not bad again. Technical ability, your character's ability to create, modify, and repair technology.
So if this is a high score and my intelligence is a low score, that's going to be kind of funny.
Yeah, like a savant, a dude bro that can build his own computer. So yeah. All right, so we have gotten all of your core stats. Now let's see. What was your body score? It was pretty high, wasn't it?
9.
9. Okay. So you have 3 major hit locations: your head, your torso, and your limbs. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your head can take 7 hits.
Okay.
Your torso can take 14 hits.
Okay.
And your limbs can take 10 hits.
Oh, so you could beat the shit out of my torso. Just don't punch me in the head as much.
Exactly. Which I think that kind of
that just goes without saying, right? Unless your name is Rocky, and then you get hit a lot.
Okay, so there are more stats to figure. So with a 9 body, your stun value is 7.
Okay.
Your stun value is a 7, which means if in combat, maybe you're trying to leap from point A to point B, you don't make your reflex roll, you fall 15 meters, whatever causes you stun, that is the number you have to roll less than on a 10-sided die to not be stunned or to recover from being stunned.
Okay.
You can lift 90 kilograms.
Okay.
You can throw an object 26 meters.
All right.
You have a damage modifier, that is when you're throwing hands with somebody. You have a damage modifier of +1 if you hit.
Okay.
And your encumbrance value is 6. That is an additional 6 kilograms over the average or normal that you can carry. So about 12 pounds for those of you playing on home. Okay, so we have another figured characteristic here, and that is...
I had a 10.
I'm sorry?
I had a 10 on the second one.
You had a 10 on the second. So our next one is your cool rating. So you have stability, and that is equal to 2.5 times your cool. Michael Mertig, hello, welcome.
Okay.
Let's see. So yeah, stability is a difficulty number which represents how hard a person is to sway, confuse, frighten, or otherwise befuddle. Stability is equal to the character's cool times 2.5 rounded down. For example, a PC with a cool of 2 would have a stability of 5, which is essentially an instant success in terms of skill rolls. Someone could, fairly easily sway them. However, someone with a cool of 6 would have a stability of 15, equal to an average difficulty number. A character with a cool of 10 would have a stability of 25, which is very difficult to overcome. What was your cool?
2.5 times my second body characteristic, which was a 10.
Well, wait.
Was that
No,
one of the
no.
other?
It's so wait. You had a cool of 10?
So yeah, you had me roll 2 body types. You
Oh.
said we'd come back to. One was a 9, one was a 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you're essentially next to impossible to sway, intimidate, frighten, startle, scare off, convince of something that you don't want to be convinced of.
Oh, so I'm Arthur Fonzarelli. Awesome.
There you go. There you go.
Which is probably too old a reference for anybody who's paying attention.
Well, it's funny because my demo is all 45 to 55 according to YouTube. So I think you're in good company. Hey, Mark Morrison, good to see you. Michael wants to know if Tim gets a robotic lion. Maybe. All right. So now, Tim, we get to have some fun here that's going to be just really difficult without you having the PDF for this, unfortunately. And that is purchasing skills. So let's see. Each character begins with a number of starting skill points equal to the sum of your intelligence and education plus 10. So what is your intelligence and education plus 10 equal, Tim?
My intelligence was a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where did we roll for education? I don't.
Actually, education may be. That's right. It's a figured stat. Let's see. All right, it's a substat. Okay. Education is the only substat in MEKTON Zeta. It measures how well you've been educated and how much common sense you have. It uses general knowledge skill, more on this later, based on your intelligence. A level of +1 is equal to grade school, +2 is equal to high school, and +3 is equal to a college education. Let's see. While it functions as a skill, it's bought with let's see. It is bought, or in this case rolled. So roll a d10. Let's see how educated you are.
Well, I'm not very smart, so this will be funny.
Hey,
a 6.
When you're as good looking as you are, you don't need to be smart. You can just fail upwards, man.
Well, it certainly works in Hollywood.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so you have the equivalent of a master's degree. Congratulations!
Wow, I've been demoted.
Sorry, Dr. M. Holt, you've taken a pay hit there, I guess.
So I'm going to tell people a funny story about that, if you don't mind me taking 1 second to do that.
No, go right ahead.
So when I got out of the Army when I was younger, I went back to college. I graduated in the bottom half of my high school class because I realized test counted 75% of your grade. So why bother to do homework for 4 years? And then when I got my PhD, my dad was like, "So what the fuck was wrong with you in high school?" He was like, dude, his first question was, "What happened?"
I kind of had a similar high school experience, Tim. Literally they were screening. They were like filtering people out as grades were being processed while we were doing graduation practice the week leading up to graduation, and I wasn't sure until the last day whether or not I was going to make the cut.
Okay.
So,
Well, Mark hit it exactly right. There were girls in high school, and they're distracting.
there you go, Mark, as hit the nail on the head. And I mean, this is an anime based game, so you know it's not any specific anime, but so at 16, having the equivalent of a master's, that's you're pretty damn smart.
Mm.
So let's talk about the skill list system of Life Path here. And again, I sent myself the wrong darn file, or else I would put this up on the screen for you guys. So there are different. There are a master set of skills, and for each stat, there are skills that fit them. For example, we'll just go ahead and start with attractiveness, Tim. The two skills in attractiveness are personal grooming and wardrobe and style. Now, you begin with a number of starting skill points equal to the sum of your intelligence and education, which is 6 and
2.
6 and 2 plus 10, so that's 18. So you have 18 skill points, and you have let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 55. So there's 55 skills, and you're thinking, well, I have 18 skill points, Bill. How the hell can I do that? Clearly, with your character, there are going to be things that you will focus on, right? I mean, as you think about your character, you might not care anything about the skill survival. You might just go, my character's never going out in the woods. I'm all about the big city. I'm not concerned about that. Or streetwise, your character's a well-heeled, genteel fellow. You don't associate with the Bosozoku, the running tribes. You don't worry about that. So spend your 18 points very thriftily as we go through the skill list. So let's look at the personal grooming and wardrobe and style, and give you and the audience an idea of where we're at here. So personal grooming, this is the skill of knowing proper grooming, hairstyling, etc. to maximize your physical appearance. Use of this skill allows the players to increase their physical attractiveness and thus the chances of successful relationships or persuasion. A good-looking person would be +2. A fashion model might have +5 or 6. At +8 or better, you could be a major fashion model, play a little too much AD&D, film star or trendsetter. You're always together and you know it. And then under wardrobe and style, similarly, a +2, you are good at picking the right clothes off the rack. A +6, your friends ask for wardrobe tips and you never buy anything off the rack. At +9, you're one of those rare people whose personal style influences major fashion trends. So you may, either one of those skills, Tim, do either one of those skills jump out at you?
Well, it's an anime world, so we need to be. So I'm already super crazy good looking, right? So I'm like the Zoolander of anime characters.
You are Blue Steel.
And Blue Steel of the anime characters. I think we need to focus on the clothing side of it.
So wardrobe and style. How many points would you like to spend on wardrobe and style?
We're going to have to. +2 was the first cutoff, I think.
+2, yeah. I mean, you can go as low as 1, and it doesn't have to be just the numbers they give as examples. You can be more granular than that. So if you want a 4, you can go with a 4. That's somewhere between, you're good at picking clothes off the rack, and your friends ask you for wardrobe tips.
I think we'll go with a +2 on that one.
A +2, okay, yeah. You can head into any one of the multitude of AI attended robotically patrolled shopping malls
So,
and get
so,
yourself some nice
so
duds.
here's why I'm picking that one. If anybody wants to know, my sisters once explained it to me that I looked at some mag. I was like, this was years ago. It was when Hugh Jackman was put up as like the sexiest man on the planet. I was like, how come he can wear that and get away with it, and when I wear that, you guys pick on me? Because he's Hugh Jackman, and when you're that good looking, you can wear whatever the hell you want, and it doesn't matter, right? So I'm already really good looking. I don't need to spend more than +2 on that.
That's true. That's very good. That's very true. And you make an excellent point. I mean, you're James Dean. This is a little bit of fashion trivia here. You get all kinds of stuff here on the Delver's Dungeon. Blue jeans and t-shirt. How many of us rock the blue jeans and t-shirt? Tim, I know you did, right? Blue jeans and t-shirt. The designer, who unfortunately was unalived by a mentally unstable person, Versace, walked up to James Dean and basically said, "You're so good looking, I'm going to put you in work dungarees and an undershirt, and people are going to love it."
It's James Dean, man.
And exactly, that's James Dean. That's why everybody goes jeans and t-shirt. Everybody got. You could go to anywhere that the environment allows it in the world, and outside of isolated native tribes, blue jeans and t-shirt. It's that pernicious. Different James Dean kabuki, but that's, yes, I love Jimmy Dean sausages too. All right, so now we have cool skills, Tim. If you're ready to get cool, I'll go through these real quick, and then we can go through them with a little bit more detail. So first, we have interrogation, intimidation, persuasion and fast talk, resist torture and drugs, or streetwise. I think most of those are fairly self-explanatory. But if you want to laser focus, Tim, you let me know.
I think in a anime world, I want the drugs and streetwise to be a little higher than normal, because those two things will probably come into play more often than not.
Okay. Yeah. I'm picking up a Shotaro Kaneda here, if you're a fan of the Akira anime. All right, very cool. So resist torture and drugs, and streetwise. So let's see. Resist torture and drugs kind of becomes an opposed check sort of thing. Like, it gives you some advantages on die rolls, and just the more points you spend, the better your opposed check versus the people intimidating you. So I'll leave it up to you as to how many of your 16 remaining points you want to spend.
I'm going to go with a +1. That's torture and, what was it, drugs or something?
Yeah, resist torture and drugs. So that is, the average person just might crumple if they, if somebody set the pliers on the table. You can put up with a couple of punches, or maybe they give you a little water laced with some Benadryl or something.
Hey, if you've been playing D&D a long time, +1 comes in handy a lot.
Exactly. Sometimes that's all you need. +1 sword, +1 because of bless, and I got 1 hit point. That's all you need. That's all you need. Jimmy mentions he wants an Akira bike. There have actually been a few built over the years that actually function. If you dig around on the web, you can find a picture of Katsuhiro Otomo sitting on one of the Akira bikes, but I don't know that he is posing on a functional one. All right, so, and you said streetwise. Mm-hmm. So streetwise, the knowledge of the seamy side of life, where to get illegal and contraband things, how to talk to the criminal element, and avoid bad situations in bad neighborhoods. With a +2 or better, you can get hot items. A +5 would allow you to set up a hit on someone, know a few mobsters who might owe you favors, and be able to call in muscle when you need it. A +8, you would be a major crime lord if you were at a +8.
I have 15 points left, and I'm going to put, was it +5 was the cutoff for the second one?
Well, +5 or higher would let you set up a hit on someone, know a few mobsters who might owe you favors, and be able to call in muscle when you need it.
I think a +5 on this one.
A bold move, So that brings you down to 10 points. So now we go over to the empathy skills. Let's head over to the empathy skills. I don't know why StreamYard's trying to navigate away. Please don't do that.
I almost don't care about empathy skills. It's sort of that's a punk move, man.
Acting, human perception, interview, leadership, seduction, or social skills. None of those?
No, none of those interest me that much.
All right. You don't want some seduction skills, Tim?
Nope, not needed. I'm already so good looking, it doesn't matter.
All right. To kind of go with those of you of a certain age, Tim, do you remember the song, "Oh Lord, It's Hard to Be Humble"?
Yes. And empathy level John Wayne Gacy might be a little bit far. And
yikes!
So I'm gonna tell people a little funny story here about
the
John Wayne Gacy thing. So if you watch the channel or me on Twitter or something, you'll know I've written a couple of books. One of those is about a fiction novels. One of them is about a Catholic priest who became a serial killer. And that worked out really well until I was at a bar one night talking to a woman who turned out to be a youth pastor who, when she found out the book I wrote, no longer wanted to talk to me.
Oh. Well, yeah.
When you turn one Catholic priest into a serial killer, I swear it's like you're marked for life.
All right. So
whole sideline story there.
Should we talk about intelligence skills just for the sake of saying we did our due diligence?
Hey, let's talk about the intelligence skills. We might come back to those, but I'm reserving some points for fighting abilities.
Right. So these, you may actually want to throw a few points on these. So we have awareness and notice, compose or write, disguise, expert, which basically you pick a discipline and say, I'm an expert at that, of varying degrees. Gamble, know language, that is K-N-O-W, not N-O. Programming, shadowing, avoid pursuit. That's basically kind of a stealth option. Survival, which is weird. I would not have put survival under specifically intelligence, but okay, Mike. Teaching. So any of those sound interesting?
Avoid pursuit.
All right. So shadowing, avoid pursuit. The skill of shadowing and avoiding pursuit of and following people. This is primarily used in urban or inhabited areas, whereas the skill of survival deals with tracking in the wilds. Knowledge of shadowing, avoid pursuit gives your character an added advantage in avoiding pursuers. And again, that's a bonus to your die roll, dependent on how much you wish to spend there.
I think we're going to go with a +1 because, again, +1 is
all right.
Sometimes all you need. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 10 points left? No, 9 points left.
9 points left. Okay. So reflex skills, personal combat. They're kind of subsections here. So reflex skills, personal combat. We have, and these are fairly self-explanatory. So going down the list, automatic weapons, blade, dodge and escape, handgun, hand-to-hand, and rifle.
Automatic weapons and dodge and escape are the two that interest me.
Okay.
So you can go all, John Wick.
There you go. So your, let's see, automatic weapons, a skill covers all types of automatic weapons from SMGs to tripod-mounted heavy machine guns, otherwise as handgun below. And it's basically +2, you're a good shot at the range. At +5, you're as skilled as most military or police personnel. At +7, you can start doing fancy tricks like shooting the gun out of someone's hand. At +10, you are equal to gunfighters like Doc Holliday or Wyatt Earp or John Wick.
Well, I think I'm going to go with a +2. That's a pretty safe
All right.
bet, and that leaves me with 7.
And dodge and escape, that's another hey, Kabuki, just what you see on the shelves, all right? Kabuki said, phase plasma rifle, 40-watt range. So let's see. So dodge and escape, this skill is required to dodge, attack, and escape holds. If an attack is made without your knowledge, you do not get the bonus of your dodge skill in your defense roll. So again, opposed roll, how many ever points you throw in there.
Plus 1.
Okay. How many points do we have there? That was 3, so you've got 6 left, correct?
6 left.
You got 6. Okay, here are your non-combat reflex skills, again, for completeness. Aircraft aero shuttle pilot. That's everything from Cessna to 747. Athletics. This, well, we'll come back to them after we name them. Dance, driving, stealth, swimming, and 0G.
Zero G is interesting.
Okay.
So let's look at that one.
All right. You must have this skill in order to use a spacesuit and maneuver in a zero gravity environment. I think the wording is a little vague there. If you didn't have 0G skills, but there was a crisis or something and somebody said, okay, put this helmet on, climb in here, zip it up, button it up, you'd be fine. You wouldn't be like, trying to stuff your head down the leg hole or anything. But 0G in reference to spacesuits here is you could then move around. You could do EVA maneuvers.
Well, that seems important.
Okay.
Let's put some points here.
Okay.
Is this another one of the die roll things, like a +1, +2?
Well, to read on, this skill includes all mecha-based combat skills in 0G also. At +2 or lower, you are at -2 in any 0G setting. At +3, you are at no penalty whatsoever. At +8 and above, you are so used to the environment that you gain +1 to any hand-to-hand or athletics actions attempted in 0G.
I've only got 6 points left, and how much more shopping do we have to do? Or are we?
We've still got mech combat skills and technical skills if you want any of those.
All right. Well, let's skip the 0G. Let's skip the 0G then. Let's
Okay.
leave that alone because these others sound more important.
So here we go. Yes, Kabuki, this is definitely not your OD&D character generation method here, which is why we're making the character tonight and doing other stuff if you're available, Tim. Otherwise, I'll gen up one and we'll have fun with it. We're doing other stuff tomorrow night with the character.
Yeah, I don't really have anything planned tomorrow, so.
All right. Okay. So here are your mecha combat reflex skills. Mecha fighting, that is hand-to-hand, punching using your big mech-sized energy weapon. Mecha gunnery, I think that's fairly self-explanatory. Let's see. Now, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Mecha melee is different from mecha fighting. We'll come back to that. Mecha missiles and then mecha piloting are the skills there. So here's the difference, because I made the I made the confusion here. Mecha fighting is a specific skill used only when you are using a mecha in hand-to-hand combat. Other hand-to-hand skills may not be applied. This is when you are attempting to grapple, dismember, or just use a plain punch or kick. Mecha melee is when you're using energy weapons, or maybe you've got a big buzzsaw that your mech carries or something like that. So those are different. One is armed giant robot combat. The other is unarmed giant robot combat.
Okay. The two I'm most interested in were mecha gunnery and mecha missiles.
Okay. Well, you have 6 points. So mecha gunnery at +2, you can hose down your target with fire and hit something. At +6, you can aim well enough to plug a sensor plate at range. At +9, or better, you can knock a can of beer out of your opponent's hand servo at 1,000 meters with a 90 millimeter beam cannon during a hurricane.
You
And
just threw the
missiles.
hurricane part in.
Nope, it's right there in the book, I promise. Let's see. Mecha missiles is used when firing missiles, rockets, anti-tank guided missiles, surface to surface, surface to air, what have you. And there are no gradations given. It's just, right. Lower is worse, higher is better.
So I'm going to think +2 on gunnery and +1 on missiles.
Okay. And that leaves us with 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Leaves us with 3 points. All right. And
what that tells me is when you play the game, you have to be very careful to watch your ammo levels.
It definitely can be. It depends on the it depends on the type of mecha or the nature of the setting. So you could have a setting where mechs use heavy things like autocannons and missile launchers all the time. Mm. Or you could have one where you're mostly energy weapon based mechs or something like that. But let's go on to the last category, technical skills. So here we go down technical skills. We've got basic repair, first aid, jury rig, mecha design, mecha tech, medical, play musical instrument, which is fun, paint or draw, photography or film, pick lock. This is the lock-picking mech pilot, and today we got, pickpocket or sing.
I think jury rig, because if playing Mech Warrior over the years has taught me anything, it's being able to take spare parts from one thing and make them work on another is a good idea.
Right. Okay, so jury rig, a quick repair skill. Jury rig is the knack of knowing how to repair and keep machinery together with bubble gum and a couple of rubber bands. At +3, you can fix missing springs, splice wires, etc. A skill of +6 can patch together minor damage, fix wires, make simple hookups, etc. A skill of +9 or better can rig a mecha power plant to function with half the important components mixing.
We're going with +3 because it's all I have left.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't know if you wanted to go lower than that. So Tim now has got a MEKTON character built. And that only took us about 45 minutes. So the lesson here, guys, is if you're going to run MEKTON at a convention, bring pre-gens. Definitely bring pre-gens. And
honestly, if I've been to a bunch of conventions in my life, and I will tell you that time goes a lot faster than you think it does. If you're going to play MEKTON, AD&D, or whatever, bring pre-gens.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. When I glanced over and we were at like 55 minutes, I was like, holy cats, has this taken that long? Because it seemed pretty snappy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, so with what Bill and I have coming up, and I don't want to say anything too much about it until later. We got a large group we're going to be doing a very specific module with. And it's people whose schedules are just crazy as can be, right? So we're doing pre-gens all the way through that. We're not taking people for 2 days to try to come up with characters. It's not going to work.
I have word as bond that he will not leak any info, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys. For the size group we have in the module, it is, I called in fire support. I have a co-DM, Paul Stormberg, and he's cooked up all the pre-gens for us. So you guys are going to love it. But
I will leak the module because
that's fine. That's absolutely fine. It's going to be, we're going to have videos of the play on Tim's channel and on my channel. So you guys are going to have to watch us both.
Yeah, it will not be live streamed, not with this group.
No, not that. No.
The original expedition to the Barrier Peaks.
That's right. Because the person you asked was like, holy cats, we need a lot of people for that. And
yeah, a lot of high level people for that. It was like,
yes,
it's the guy I started talking to, his instant response was, holy crap, you need like 8 people and they've got to be this level. And then you're probably still going to lose half of them. So it's, yeah.
All right. Well, we are planning for that too. So I want to answer some questions about the game. Michael asks, is this more RoboCop or is it Voltron where you climb in the mecha? It's more Voltron or Robotech or Gundam or something like that. Tim is not becoming the mech. It's, they're not going to like bolt metal plates to him and stuff like that. He will be in the cockpit of his war machine. And let's see.
Yeah. John, Car Wars was pretty simple, but remember, it also didn't have a lot of depth to it. And it kind of played like Death Race after a while.
Yeah. I've got a couple of versions of Car Wars knocking around here. And one night we may do a deep dive and a play example of Car Wars for you guys. Not right now. The table has the upper works of Dungeon Module A2, Secret of the Slaver Stockade, still set out on it. But
Bill, I also bought the 1980s version of TSR published. It's still in the TSR box. The Buck Rogers game.
I saw your pictures. That looks really cool.
Yeah, so I might have to do a deep dive on that one or something someday. Because I've actually never played it. I'd never even seen a copy of it. I saw it in the game store near me, and I'm like, I must have it.
And by briefly, I mean for like an afternoon. I had the SSI TSR Buck Rogers. Was it Count You Down to Armageddon? I can't remember. Gold box game for PC because they didn't make it for the Amiga. I was still living at home with my folks at the time. I was laid out of the nest. But I saw it on the store shelf and I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to buy that. My dad just got a new 286 and I took it home and installed it. And, my mother asked what I was doing sitting in the office area of the house. And I said, oh, I'm doing this. And she said, not on your father's computer. You're not. That's for business only. Whatever you're putting on there, you take right off.
There you go. That sounds like my house.
So that was the end of it. But anyway, so tomorrow night, Tim and I are going to be here and we are going to, we're gonna do a little character exploration. We're gonna talk about the giant stompy robot parts, which I've got to blow the dust off of 30 years of having not played MEKTON to do that. We'll maybe look at a little bit of machine customization, and then I'll throw Tim into the deathmatch arena of death, to quote David Does Tech. So, Tim, you game? You ready for that? All right.
Yeah. I've got my 4th of July all set. I'm not going anywhere. My kids are with my ex-wife, and 4th of July for me is one of those holidays I try to avoid the roads because they get very busy and very drunk.
Yes, absolutely.
So I have white wine, I have red wine, and I have blueberry pie. So I'm pretty much set.
Brother, there you go. I got to pick up some cheese and some buns, and we're doing a cook-in tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like over 110 degrees in the direct sun tomorrow. So we're doing a cook-in, burgers, hot dogs, watermelon, the whole spiel, but right out there on my dining room table.
So anybody, if I don't know how many people are watching are from Florida, but if you've never been to Florida in the summertime, it is an interesting experience. It's a combination of really high temperatures and 90% humidity. There's just sort of like this weird thing that goes on.
It is. It gets toasty down here.
It's hot and humid, and then you get the afternoon thunderstorm, and I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse.
It can. We have kind of a jokey thing where it's like, yeah, don't get happy that rain. It's going to be like 130 degrees when the sun comes out and starts steaming that rain off the ground. Yeah. But if you have like a whole afternoon where just like we get a squall line that rolls in out of Tampa and just parks itself over the I-4 corridor, it will bring it down into the mid 80s. So it's actually kind of nice. Yeah.
So Kabuki Kid, I'm going to answer a Buck Rogers question. It was the 80s, Buck Rogers, the late 70s, early 80s, when it was like right after Star Wars, before Star Wars or something, right in that phase. They did play, it was either the pilot or just it had a movie or something where they put it in the theater with Aaron Gray and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And to this day, I remember seeing that in the theater. And the only thing I remember from it, even though I was a little kid, is Twiggy and Aaron Gray. I could probably not remember Buck from the theater as at all, but I remember Aaron Gray.
We all remember Aaron Gray and
Yeah.
what was her name? Lena Hensley,
Oh yeah, it was
Princess
terrible.
Ardala. Absolutely.
It's the only reason
Um,
the only reason we watched Flash Gordon wasn't because of Flash's great acting. It was because of the princess
there you go. There
and
you
Ming
go.
the Merciless and the princess, because it certain
Yes.
clearly was not for Buck Rogers' acting ability. I'm
No.
sorry, Flash Gordon's acting ability.
Sam J. Jones, who,
And Jones, yeah.
you know, he was poised on the cusp of I'm going to be a big, huge movie star, and he completely pivoted from that and became like a private security consultant, like a bodyguard.
Well, his
I
acting abilities were terrible, but yeah.
well, granted. Michael asks about it because Michael's got a little bit of inside knowledge. Do I have Starblade Battalion or MEKTON Empire? Yes, I do. I believe. Yes, I have MEKTON Empire. It's sitting right here. It is an older one. This is more aimed at MEKTON 2, but the information in it is essentially the same. So, you know, it's a fairly universal science fiction setting. But anyhow, Jimmy says Ornella Moody. I don't know.
I'm looking up the answer to the Krull question,
Okay.
because
All
that's
right.
a good one. I don't. It's been so many years since I've seen Krull. No, she was not in Krull. I'm looking at her IMDb page over here.
Be well, Kabuki. Take care. That is correct. Spielberg's first movie, Duel, was made for TV, but it was a big hit in European theater, and yeah, it was kind of strange. They did that. Duel did that. Buck Rogers, basically, the 2-hour pilot was de-edited for TV, or maybe they edited the film pilot and then ran it on TV shortly thereafter. But yeah, Buck Rogers, and also the pilot for Battlestar Galactica, and that was a big
Yeah.
deal because it was in Sensurround.
So I actually was, I watched a bunch of those when they come through Tubi every once in a while, and then I went and looked up some stuff about Battlestar Galactica, and I'm like, okay, it was kind of a neat show, and it kind of went away. And it was because they were about to get sued from Star Wars because a lot of stuff looked really similar.
And well, the Universal had lured away John Dykstra, who did all of the amazing practical and model effects. He was like the head of that at Lucas, and Lucas was pissed when he went away.
Yeah.
So
yeah. One thing I can tell you is there's some people in the industry. My business partner, so my day job, my business partner funds a lot of independent film. He's done a bunch of them with Lily Collins. He did one with Meryl Streep. He's done some others. And he will tell you the last thing in Hollywood you ever want to do is cross about 12 people. And there's 12 people out there that will just sue the crap out of you if you just look at them wrong. Mm-hmm. And George Lucas is one of them. Spielberg's another. And it's not that they're bad guys, just that everybody wants to steal from them. And the other thing he will tell you is that Disney will sue you at the drop of a hat. And I couldn't figure that one out until he explained it to me, that Disney basically employs 2 floors worth of lawyers, and they're going to pay them no matter what they do. Mm-hmm. And they get paid the same no matter what, because they're full-time employees. So Disney's just always looking for somebody new to sue because they got lawyers they got to pay one way or the other.
Yep. You do not have the. I don't care how righteous your cause is. You do not have. I can stand up to Disney money.
No,
there is no amount of moral victories. And to kind of bring this back into the arena of giant stompy robots, Tim, you talk about Lucas being so happy. The original version of BattleTech was called Battle Droids.
Oh, you got to change that fast.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter that droid is just short for android.
Does or rather, matter.
It was not separate from the word battle. There was not an apostrophe. It was battle droids. Lucas sent a cease and desist to FASA, and they very quickly changed the name of the game to BattleTech. So if you have one of those original box sets that is labeled Battle Droids, you have quite the gem there. That is a RPG rarity.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain. I mean, I will. So like in my business, we actually are kind of marketing in a specific way, hoping one of our competitors sends us a cease and desist, primarily because we want to steal a trick from Monty Python. When Quest for the Holy Grail came out, and I know it's not giant stompy robots, but who doesn't like Monty Python, right? So
Of course.
when Quest for the Holy Grail came out, it got banned in some state for some reason. I forget which state it was. So of course they didn't roll it out across all 50 states at once, because that's not what you did back then. You rolled it out in pieces because you could only make prints of the movie so fast, because not like now where you just send digital. But they got banned in one state. So of course all the marketing in the next state was the movie that's so weird it got banned over in wherever, and of course that marketed through the roof because it got banned in other states. So we want to cease and desist, and then our next set of ads is, we were so good that so and so sent us a cease and desist order.
Nice. I'm reminded of was it's just something that went viral for a coffee shop. You can probably find the image. It's a little chalkboard they put outside. Come in and try the coffee that Wanda from Instagram said was, boring and tasted burnt or something.
Worst cup of coffee she'd ever had.
Worst cup of coffee she ever had. From Yelp. I'm sorry, I said Instagram.
So I can't see how many people are in the audience. How many people are still hanging out with us?
We've had close to 30 people. It's 19 because we're kind of winding down now.
So people that are still watching, I want to point out something. There's a couple of things going on with the new release for Dungeons and Dragons, and I hope everybody holds in reserve a lot of the opinions until it actually comes out. Okay, because we see a lot of this in a lot of industries where people will sort of pre-destroy things before they're ever launched. And I'm not just picking on Wizards of the Coast because everybody loves to hate them, but don't, like, as an author myself, as somebody who develops products, you can hate Wizards all you want, but don't pre-hate a product. Right? Actually take the time to look at it first. You don't have to buy it, but going out and before it ever appears on the market and kind of cannon it is always a bad thing. So like this thing with Neil Gaiman that's popping up, with other stuff that pops up from time to time, new Star Wars stuff that might come out. Everybody comes out like, oh, before I even see it, I'm gonna lay all this hate on it. Wait till it hits the market, right? Before you do that, because you never know where you might be wrong.
Now I essentially think you're right, Tim, but it's when your expectations are so low that they've been buried underneath the ground.
Low expectations is fine, and like with the last release of Star Wars, not Star Wars, the Top Gun Maverick. I went into it with such low expectations. I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be terrible, right? This sequel to this after this song is going to be awful. It's a fantastic movie, right? I was so surprised. But I think sometimes we go in with these crazy high expectations and we're disappointed because we went in with crazy high expectations. I always try to go in with like a blank slate. And Wizards is releasing a bunch of stuff, but and I agree with some of it. I disagree with others. But the thing I disagree with is, and the one thing I will criticize Wizards for, because this is already known. This is not, they haven't hidden it. Originally, when they started talking 6th edition or whatever the heck they're calling it now, they were saying everything from all editions would kind of be compatible and you could take it and sort of play it anywhere. And that language has gone away even from their YouTube videos they're releasing, where it's like, oh, it's only 5th and 6th edition. So it's like they're kind of saying, forget about those 1st edition guys. And that's kind of bugging me, but I'm going to hold in reserve until I see the rest of it.
And that's fine. I said this the other day when I was talking about humor in AD&D. Mm-hmm. Anymore, man, I'm just like, play what you like.
Exactly.
Play what you like.
Which, back to Big Stompy Robots.
Okay.
Who remembers the movie Robot Jox?
I saw that shit in the theater, and by that shit, I mean that shit.
Who was in that one? I can't. It was
nobody.
No, I thought it had somebody big in it. Didn't Jean-Claude Van Damme do one of those Big Stompy Robot movies?
I don't think so. Now I'm gonna pull this up here. Let's see.
I thought he was in one of them.
Let's see, Robot.
And then there was the one where Hugh Jackman was like using a boxing robot or something?
That was actually a classic sci-fi story. So here's who is in who is in Robot Jocks, as I accidentally grabbed the wrong window once again, and as always, thank you, Adobe. All right, so here is our cast. Gary Graham. Stop me if anybody recognizes any of these people, because I don't. Gary Graham, Anne Marie Johnson, Paul Koslow, Robert Sampson, Danny Kamikona, Hillary Mason, and Michael Aldredge.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing either. I saw this in the theater with my buddy Phil. Phil and I were huge BattleTech players at the time, in that we were both over 6 feet and weighed in excess of 200 pounds, but we loved BattleTech, and it was an absolute waste of our $7 and whatever we spent on popcorn. It was complete dreck. Do not see Robot Jocks unless you are high, by which I mean sitting way up off the floor and looking down at the TV in distance.
It's the kind of movie I think you have to remember. You have to kind of forget the rule of puff, puff, pass. You have to go with puff, 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 puff. Hey, Willie, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's a dreadful movie, and it's just not good.
It's just terrible, absolutely awful. But
it's terrible.
It had big stumpy robots in it, right? So it was
giant, big stumpy robot fans have wanted a BattleTech movie for so long, and then stuff like this comes out, and I as a BTech fan, I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Look at that. No, you don't.
Special effects are getting better. You could almost do it now, right? Because the special effects are so cheesy. Then it came off like the Beastie Boys rock video for Intergalactic or something, right? So anyway,
that was a better giant stompy robot movie than Robot Jocks Fight Me.
It was a great.
Intergalactic is a better mecha movie, live action mecha movie. Although to be fair, by all accounts, the first Pacific Rim was a lot of fun.
All right, I'll give you that one.
All right, but I didn't see that one. So we are going to be back tomorrow night. Tim and I are going to bring you giant stompy robot action, and we're going to look at the actual giant stompy robots, since we have a little squishy person to put in the giant stompy robot. So come back tomorrow night, same time, 9-8 your time. Work good for you, Tim?
That's fine.
All right. Thank you again to Dr. Imholt. Everybody, please check him out.
Aliens was a better big
Aliens. Yeah,
that's
entirely believable. Anyway, yes. So check out Dr. Imholt's channel here on YouTube. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and check us all out. And you know what would be scarier than any of this stuff, Tim? An owl bear in power armor. I'm going to leave you to sweat that one out, and I'll see you tomorrow night.
Freaking owl bears, man.
That's everybody. Have a lovely evening, all. We'll talk to you later, just as quick as I get this taken care of. And peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just